Want to get at the What's Happening Man? Hit him up anytime. Myron at what'shappeningmyron.com.
Anyway, President Obama, who is still my president until somebody comes along that actually matches his awesomeness, had jury duty.
Yeah.
So, it makes him even more relatable to me. And he's just an awesome dude, man. So,
and you both can be called for jury duty.
Yeah, at any time.
Right.
And he went. Of course, he was dismissed a little while later, but just the fact that he was called and he went.
Well, here's the thing. Not only did he go, but he went. He's got a full Secret Service detail, like the whole kit and caboodle, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the clerks that works in the office, when she was asked about, his visit, all she could say was, "He's gorgeous."
Oh, wow.
Lady, you do know that was like the leader of the free world, right?
If I had been president and had been president to the magnitude that President Obama was president, and, I just got some in the mail saying, hey, you got to go to jury duty, I'd be like, you do realize who you addressing this mail to, right? You do know who I am.
They just wanted to see if he was going to show up.
You know who I am, right? Because, it's like right now, I'd be trying to get out of it now, and I'm just Myron. You know what I mean?
So it's like if I was President Myron,
if I was President Myron, oh, no.
You do realize it's your civic duty? And
it's like, what y'all gonna do if I don't show up?
Tell me that.
You. They gonna come for y'all gonna come get me? I'm President Myron. Come on. But, that just lets you know that he's just a real humble dude.
So, where he was, in his Chicago neighborhood, there's a lot of celebrities in that particular neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And it just so happened that while he was on one side of the street with his Secret Service detail, there was another celebrity on the other side of the street.
Who?
Chance the Rapper.
Oh, wow. Wow. And
all in the same day. Like, they were across the street from each other. So imagine the hoopla on that block with Chance the Rapper on the one side of the street talking about a new $95 million development, and then President Obama coming to show up for jury duty on the opposite side.
And I've actually, been to Chicago a few times, and one of the last times I was there, I actually drove, not through the neighborhood because they had it like kind of barricaded off and Secret Service people and everything was out there. But I drove near it, close enough to see, okay, that's Secret Service people out there.
That brings to light for me another story, right? Mm-hmm. So there was this other story about this woman and how she basically got close enough to 45 in his motorcade to give him the bird.
Yeah, she flipped him the bird.
Yeah. And so then in contrast, there's a conversation about how did she get so close, right?
Yeah.
To him and his Secret Service motorcade to be able to do that. Whereas this other gentleman that was riding a bike and didn't even realize that it was a Secret Service motorcade because he's trying to get to work was tackled down to the ground when he got too close to Barack Obama's Secret Service motorcade. So how close did you get to the motorcade is my question.
Oh, not close enough to get tackled. And I actually had to drive by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I drove close enough to actually look a couple of blocks down and see where they had it barricaded.
Okay.
But that was really interesting to, drive through the neighborhood where he actually, lived. Speaking of Chance the Rapper's dad actually worked for President Obama.
I know.
Yeah. So.
I know. And there's a lot of, there's a lot to be said when you have the type of leadership in your home to show you how to, I guess, the structure of how to be successful. Because there's a lot of conversation, specifically in the Black community, about one of the things that we have as a disadvantage is a lot of times we don't have people who've been where we're trying to go. Right? Or in similar roles where they can help us on that, navigate the path. Right. And so I think it's great because that's a good example of having a father who is there, who has navigated some paths, and it can kind of be a help to you to get you to navigate the paths where you're trying to go effectively. Because I think about that all the time with my own child. I think about specifically with my daughters, me being able to be a resource for them. So when they have questions on how things should be done and they come to me, now I'm not saying they always listen to me. And specifically, my oldest daughter surprises me sometimes because it seems to me like I'm always talking, but she's never listening. And then she'll try everything in the world. And then eventually she'll do what I said. And she'll be like, I was listening, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, but you tried everything in the world and then ended right back up doing the thing that I told you to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But, I think that for me is one of the things I like the most about Chance the Rapper, and his father-son dynamic that he has with his dad, because I think that the men in our community could really use a lot more of that.
And you know, as odd as it may seem, I guess rappers like Chance the Rapper and even Drake, who have their fathers actually in their lives and have had their fathers in their lives, you know, for a long time, you can kind of see, you know.
Yeah. Because the other thing too that I think is worth noting, and I'm not saying that that's the case in his case, but one of the things I think is worth noting is that being a father and being in your child's life doesn't necessarily equate to you being in the mother's life, right? So you could be a great dad, even though you and the mom may not have worked out, and you could be a wonderful role model for your child, and you could be there for them when they need it, and you can have the type of interaction that's necessary for them to have to know that they're supported, loved, and nurtured, right?
Exactly.
So I think that I don't want to give the impression that I'm saying, you know, you're not a good father if you don't live with your child. I'm saying take the initiative to be involved in that child's life and do the things that are necessary for that child to know that they are loved and supported. And that's what a good father does.
Future mayor of the universe. Yeah. But y'all stick around. We got Hey Myron coming up next on the What's Happening Myron radio show.
You're listening to the What's Happening Myron radio show.